Welcome to the Subconscious Photography Podcast, where art meets science, reality meets perception, all through the lens of a camera. Ready your lenses, open your minds, and let's delve into the fascinating world of subconscious photography. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Subconscious Photography Podcast, exploring the hidden narratives behind every shot. I'm your host, David Senoff, merging a lifelong fascination with photography and a seasoned legal career. Our journey today delves into the intricate dance between human perception and the art of photography. This episode is particularly special to me as it coincides with a personal milestone. My sister, an unwavering pillar of strength and inspiration, has been bravely facing cystic fibrosis for these last 50 years. Her resilience during her recent hospital stay and recovery has profoundly influenced me, reminding us all of the poignant narratives that photography captures. Her return home marks not just a personal triumph, but also the perfect moment to launch this podcast. As many of you who have been following us on social media know, I intended to start this podcast months ago, but as a result of her hospitalization, wanted to make sure that she was out of danger and in the clear. And so she is and has come home. And so I thought that this would be the perfect time to launch episode 1 of the Subconscious Photography Podcast. My own photographic path has been a tapestry, to say the least, of experiences. From capturing life's defining moments at social events to honing my skills in, yes, if you can believe it, 1 hour and commercial photo labs, my journey began with a simple Nikon, a cherished gift from my mother. Actually, she sort of gave it to me and I sort of took it, sparking a passion that has grown over the years. Outside and beyond the courtroom, I immerse myself in the world of photography, proudly embracing the title, the geezer of gear. And yes, that means the old man of gear. It's in these tangible artifacts of photography's history that I find the most joy. Each piece telling its own story of our art's collective evolution. This first full episode of the Subconscious Photography Podcast is intended as a 30-foot view of what we hope to discuss and achieve with this show and more broadly with a community. Think of it as an appetizer to whet your palate for the large feast to come. First, let's talk about the essence of subconscious photography. Let's immerse ourselves in the core of what that truly means. Imagine a scene: a child's laughter in a park, the intricate patterns of a cityscape, or the serene calm of a mountain landscape. These images aren't just a collection of pixels or film grains. They represent moments, emotions, and connections. Through the lens of subconscious photography, we capture not just what the scene looks like, but what it feels like. In our discussion today, let's try and peel back the layers of these moments. How does our brain process and remember these images? What role do emotions and cultural context play in our perception? These questions are the types of questions we'll explore in this episode and future episodes, blending scientific insights with real-world examples and providing practical tips on how you, as a photographer, can harness this understanding to create a more meaningful and impactful image and more meaningful and impactful images overall. As photographers, we are not just artists or technicians or chemists. We are storytellers and explorers of the human experience. Each click of a shutter is an opportunity to delve into the depths of our shared humanity. So join us as we explore how to make your photography not just a reflection of reality, but a window into the soul of your subjects. Next, I wanted to talk about the intersection of photography, and not just analog or digital, but photography in general, and the advancements in artificial intelligence. AI is increasingly at the forefront of photography discussions. The role of AI AI image making, all of these things, text to image, they all roll up into what we call AI. And as we stand at this technological crossroads, it's essential to ask, what does the emergence of AI mean for the authenticity and soul of a photograph? In this segment, we're not just pondering the question of, is a photo authentic? Does it have a soul? We're diving into the heart of it. AI and AI image making challenges our traditional notions of capturing moments. It pushes us to redefine what it means to create an image. We'll explore in future episodes the ethical implications of AI photography. Can a moment be considered truly captured or a photograph truly made if it's engineered by AI? This isn't just a theoretical debate amongst academics. It's a practical concern for every photographer. We'll talk about how photographers can adapt to this new landscape, ensuring that their art remains true to their vision in an age where technology blurs the lines between reality and simulation. Join me as we navigate this complex terrain, combining insights from experts and personal reflections. Together, we'll understand how AI reshapes our craft and how we as photographers and storytellers can harness this technology without losing the essence of what makes a photograph a genuine reflection of our world. And genuine reflections brings us to the next sort of general topic, which is philosophical reflections and the future of photography. As we venture further into the exploration of photography's changing landscape, we must ponder the implications of those technological advancements. Now, some people, including myself, might say, well, I don't really care about photography's changing landscape or its technological advancements because I still use my old Nikon film cameras or my old Hasselblad film cameras. And so these technological advances don't really affect me. Well, we all know that's true. There are very, very few fully analog photographers in our world today. There are people who take pictures on film, send the film out to be developed, and then have it scanned, and then have it either emailed, mailed, or Dropboxed back to them. But in any event, some form of computer software is interpolating the negative, the colors, and reproducing them in the scans that are returned to you. So it's hard for any of us in this world where it's hard to get film developed, number one, or even if you do it yourself, very few people print their own photographs from negatives on an enlarger because it's time consuming and because doing it digitally, either with a digital camera or a scanner, is a lot faster. And so the idea that no one can ignore the philosophical implications of these technological advancements is simply wishful thinking at this point. And when I started to think about these reflections and the future of photography, it reminded me of the story of Han van Meegeren, as recounted in the book The Man Who Made Vermeers and the film adaptation called The Last Vermeer. That film and that book reminds us that the perception of authenticity can be as influential as authenticity itself. And this is particularly relevant in our current era, where AI-generated images challenge our traditional understanding of what is photographic truth. In other words, if an AI image is rendered and it appears as if it is a regular photograph with no changes, isn't obviously on its face a fraud, does that challenge our traditional understanding of photographic truth, even if that image never occurred? So consider, if you will, the ability of AI to create images that never actually happened. This technological marvel brings us to a crossroads much like the one faced by the art experts fooled by Han van Meegeren's forgeries. How do we discern the real from the artificially created in photography? This question is not only a technological challenge, but a profound philosophical one. It asks us to redefine our understanding of reality as captured through the lens of a camera. The impact of AI on photography extends beyond the realm of image creation. It invites us to reflect on the nature of perception itself. What is the role of the photographer in an age where AI can not only replicate, but can also create new realities? How does this affect our understanding of the decisive moment in photography, a concept so eloquently captured by Henri Cartier-Bresson? Once you consider that AI creates images that are not real or never happen, we have to consider reality perception and the art of photography. Delving into the thought-provoking ideas presented by Professor Donald Hoffman's The Case Against Reality, alongside the imaginative storytelling of The Matrix and the timeless wisdom of Plato's allegory of the cave, these perspectives offer a rich framework for understanding the intricate relationship between what we capture through our lenses and what we perceive as reality. Professor Hoffman's theory suggests that our perceptions are more about survival than about portraying an objective reality. This idea has profound implications for photography. Are the images we create and capture merely interpretations filtered through our cognitive biases? How does this align with the art of photography, where we strive to capture moments as, quote, authentically as possible? In the narrative world of The Matrix, the original Matrix movie, we're presented with a simulated reality, a digital illusion. This concept resonates deeply with the current state of photography, especially as AI begins to play a larger role in image creation. It prompts us to question the authenticity of our work. Are the photographs we make and view projections within our own matrix of perception, or do they actually exist? Drawing from Plato's allegory of the cave, we are reminded of the limitations of our own understanding. In photography, just like the prisoners in the cave who see only shadows on the wall, we are only capturing a fraction of the broader reality. And with the introduction of AI, are we complicating this dynamic any further? Creating new shadows that blend reality with fiction? This episode and further episodes will invite us to reflect on these philosophical and ethical questions, both as real questions and as thought experiments. We will explore how these concepts influence the way we approach photography, from composition and post-processing to our understanding of what constitutes a, quote, real image. Join me in this journey, particularly as we navigate the complex interplay between our perception, the technology at our disposal, and the art we create. But we intend at this podcast to dive deeper into photographic authenticity and AI influence. And in that part of our journey, we will delve into the nuances of photographic authenticity in the age of AI. We will circle back to the groundbreaking ideas of The Case Against Reality by Professor Hoffman and the imaginative world of The Matrix, intertwining these concepts with the practical world of photography. These segments aim to probe deeper into the questions raised about the nature of reality and how it's represented through the lens of a camera. In exploring the concept of, quote, authenticity in photography in a world where AI can create hyper-realistic images, what does authenticity even mean? We will examine how these technological advancements challenge the traditional boundaries of photography. Are AI-generated images a new form of artistic expression, or do they undermine the authenticity traditionally associated with photography? We also will touch on the ethical implications of AI in photography. The ease of creating realistic images with AI raises questions about the value and integrity of a traditional photograph. How should we as photographers and viewers navigate this new landscape? Is there a need to redefine the ethical guidelines in photography in light of these advancements? And since these advancements are moving faster than Moore's law, which means that they're doubling in more than a month or a year, or they're more than doubling in that time frame, and we ponder these questions, we have to stop and think, where will we be not in 5 years, but in 6 months or 12 months? Will there even be a difference between photography and AI image generation at that point? As we ponder all of these questions, we'll bring in insights from experts in the field, as well as stories from photographers who are navigating these changes now in real time in their own work. This discussion is not just theoretical. It has practical implications for how we approach photography in a rapidly evolving digital world. But we also have to explore the boundaries of photographic realism and fiction, because they are blurred. There are blurred boundaries between realism and fiction in photography, especially in light of AI advancements. We need to reflect on how AI challenges our understanding of what a photograph represents. Is a photograph merely a record of reality, or can it also be a creation that transcends traditional boundaries? This exploration takes us through the realms of artistic impression and technological innovation. We will discuss how AI has opened new avenues for creative expression in photography and image making, allowing all of us to create images that were only once possible in our imaginations. Yet this freedom comes with its own set of questions and responsibilities. How do we balance artistic freedom with the integrity of representing reality? That's a hard one, because in any type of text-generated image making, you're simply pouring words out and asking the computer to generate an image, or the chatbot to generate an image that maybe never happened. For example, I've never been to the Grand Canyon, but if I give an AI chatbot a picture of myself and then ask it to produce an image of myself visiting the Grand Canyon, it will do that. And it will do it at a time that I believe the light is great, and it will put the type of sky in that I want, and it will continue to do that until I tell it to stop. Now, the question is that a photograph? If we print it on a piece of paper, is that a photograph? I mean, it's an image, but it's an image that never happened. So the question is, does that count, quote unquote, as a photograph? Or is that something else entirely? Is that an artistic rendering of my likeness with the Grand Canyon in the background? Nobody would question a painting of me where the painter painted my likeness in the foreground and painted the Grand Canyon in the background. But that would just be called a painting. That wouldn't be called a photograph. And so it's that quandary that we find ourselves in as photographers living in an increasingly technologically advancing AI world. And so in light of this, we're going to examine case studies and examples of how photographers today are navigating this new terrain, from those who are embracing AI to enhance their creative vision, to those who remain steadfast in traditional photographic methods. We explore the diverse perspectives with all of the photographic community. And then we still need to reflect on the evolution of photographic art, the way I think of it, having been born before the digital camera, in the digital age. And we need to have a reflective discussion on the evolution of photographic art in this digital age, and take a step back and observe how photography as an art form has adapted and transformed with technological advancements, particularly in the realm of AI, but also in the realm of digital imagery. We need to explore the historical context, and we will explore the historical context of photography, tracing its journey from the days of film and darkrooms to the current era of digital cameras and AI enhancements. This historical perspective provides insights into how each technological leap has influenced artistic expressions in photography. We ponder the question, how have these technological changes shaped the way we as photographers perceive and capture the world around us? Furthermore, we'll discuss the implication of these changes for the future of photography and the future of photographers, for that matter. How will ongoing advancements in AI and digital technology continue to shape our field? Whether you're an amateur, a hobbyist, a semi-pro, a professional photographer, what new forms of artistic expression might emerge, and how is that new emergence going to affect you as an image maker, a photographer, and will those changes challenge our traditional understandings of what it means to capture an image, to focus light through a lens onto either a sensor or a film or anything else that you can use to capture light? In future episodes, we'll hear from photographers who have embraced these changes, as well as those who maintain a more traditional approach to their craft. Their diverse perspectives shed light on the dynamic and ever-changing landscape of photographic art, offering a rich tapestry of experience and insights for our listeners. But all these technological advances, even advances that have taken place from the time of the very first episode or episode 0 of this podcast until now, have been substantial. ChatGPT can now generate images. Google's Bard can now receive and generate images. As we progress in our exploration, episodes will focus on these conceptual shifts in photography brought about by technological advances. Think about this. If there were any really large photographic magazines like Life or National Geographic left in print, and I don't mean online, but I mean in print, would they need photographers to go out in the field to take pictures anymore? Or could a computer engineer generate them and use them in a photographic essay with a story that might be true, but pictures of people and things that never happened? We're going to delve into how these changes have not only altered the tools and techniques of photography, but also transformed our understanding of what photography can be. And in these discussions, we'll consider the philosophical implications of these technological shifts. We ponder the ways in which digital technology and AI have expanded the boundaries of photographic expression, challenging our traditional notions of what constitutes a photograph, and how the digital era redefined the essence of capturing moments. And let's also explore the ethical and artistic considerations that come with these advancements. As photographers, how do we navigate the balance between artistic innovation and the preservation of photography's core values? What responsibilities do we as photographers have towards truth in photography? Do we bear any responsibility for shaping the future of this art form in an ethically and artistically sound manner? In these episodes, we'll engage with thought leaders in the field, as well as emerging artists who are pushing the boundaries of what's possible with photography in the digital age. Their insights and experience will provide a diverse and rich perspective on how photography is evolving and what this means for future generations of photographers. And then we have to integrate, eventually, emerging technologies into modern photography. And in future episodes on this topic, we're going to explore the exciting and sometimes daunting integration of emerging technologies in modern photography. We delve into how innovations like augmented reality, AR, or virtual reality, VR, or even drone photography are creating new dimensions in the photographic experience. These technologies, they're not just expanding the tools available to photographers. They're opening up new horizons for artistic expression. AR and VR, for instance, offer truly immersive ways to experience and create photographic art, blurring the lines even more between the real and the virtual. Drone photography, on the other hand, provides new perspectives, literally changing our viewpoints and how we interpret scenes and landscapes. We discuss the creative and practical implications of these technologies. How do they change the way we approach photography, from the planning and shooting process to the final presentation of our work? What new opportunities and challenges do they present for photographers striving to push the boundaries of their art? Join us as we speak to photographers and also cinematographers who are pioneering the use of these technologies in their work. They share their experiences, insights, and how tools have revolutionized their approach to photography. This conversation aims to inspire and equip our listeners to embrace these technological advancements in their photographic journeys. And finally, we're going to try and envision in future episodes what the future of photography holds in a digital world. And this digital world is rapidly evolving and expanding. And so these episodes will contemplate where photography might be headed, given the current trajectory of the advancements of technology and changing artistic paradigms. In other words, eventually, there won't be a lot of people who grew up with film and digital. There will only be people who grew up with digital and AI. And so the artistic paradigm of a photograph for those people will be substantially different than it will be for a person like me. So we'll discuss the potential future developments in photography, considering advancements in AI and machine learning, and how these might further revolutionize the way we capture, process, and share images. Let's also consider the role of social media and digital platforms in shaping photographic trends and practices. That should be a key topic of our discussion. I've heard many photographers say that they've either been told by their mentors or that they themselves believe that everything they see photographically on the internet is boring, that social media feeds you nothing but boring pictures because all people are doing is seeing what Instagram photos or whatever the platform du jour is, they're just copying it. And they're copying it in a square format, not in a rectangular format, which some photographers consider to be cheating. And we'll discuss that. We'll discuss why people think a 6x6 photograph is easier to compose than a 35 millimeter photograph. But in any event, the real question is, has composition of photographs been hijacked by the heart button or the like button or the thumbs up button, so that because people want to become more and more viral, if you will, on these social platforms, has it caused them to compose photographs in a different way of different subjects and turn their lenses completely away from things that might otherwise make for an excellent photograph, because they don't think that that subject matter is something that will generate likes or thumbs up or make them go viral? And let's consider the possibilities of new genres and styles emerging as a result of digital innovations. Now, I'm not talking about social here. I'm talking about what new forms of storytelling and artistic expression might we be looking forward to in the next decade. How might future photographers interact with their environment and their subjects in ways that we can't just imagine yet? This forward-looking conversation is not just about speculation. It's about preparing for and shaping the future of photography. We'll hear from experts and visionaries who are at the forefront of these changes, offering insights and prediction of what lies ahead for photographers, enthusiasts, and consumers of photographic art. As we conclude this episode, we invite you to continue exploring, learning, and evolving with us as we embrace the future of this dynamic and ever-changing art form. But you know what? This art form has always been dynamic and ever-changing. From the mid to late 1800s until today, there has always been the debate about, are cameras better? Does that mean everybody's a photographer now? Everybody has a camera in their pocket now by virtue of their cell phone. And as a result of that, there is going to be a dynamic and ever-changing art form known as photography. But as I said, from the time that Alfred Stieglitz stood behind an 8x10 large format camera and took pictures of Fifth Avenue in the snow until somebody whipped out their iPhone or Pixel camera and took pictures in the snow as they were walking to their car without a tripod and without glass negatives, without any negatives. This art form has always been dynamic and ever-changing and has always responded to those changes in a way that makes photography still interesting and still worth pursuing, even if you can sit behind your computer and prompt it with 50 words and get a photograph or an image. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this first full episode of the Subconscious Photography Podcast. If our journey through the art and science of photography, as I've summarized it here, has captivated you, please subscribe to our podcast. We're excited to continue this exploration with you and look forward to future episodes. You can visit us at www.subconscious-photography.com. That's www.subconscious-photography.com. For more episodes, you can take a look at some of my subconscious and some would say unconscious photographs that are on display there, and to share your thoughts with us. You can also email us your comments and your own personal experiences with regard to anything along your photographic journey. And you can do that directly through the website. Again, that's www.subconscious-photography.com. Your insights and support are invaluable to this community. Please do us a favor. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, or whatever your preferred provider of podcasts is. Please subscribe to the show. Give us a like because that will actually help us. And join us next time for more adventures in subconscious photography. Thank you, and we look forward to speaking with you again very soon.